Introducing Next Gen 15, the new home of school rugby.
Well, where does this come from?
Covering everything the school game has to offer in both the north and southern hemispheres.
Oh, the great tackle! It's not good enough! 1-2, skip a few and with the wheels!
Highlighting tomorrow's stars, Next Gen 15 will be bringing you live games and a regular update of all the news and in-depth views on the global game.
What a kick! Where did he come from and how did that happen?
All your school rugby, all in one place. This is Next Gen 15.
Hello and welcome to StoneX Stadium, home of Saracens back in the Premiership this year. We're here today to take in Haileybury against Seaford College. Apologies for the slightly delayed kickoff, 20 minutes late. As you all know, traffic in and around London can be a bit tricky, and unsurprisingly one of the teams has fallen foul of that. But we're shortly to be underway, 6 minutes until kickoff now. Seaford College out here warming up. Haileybury have just gone back into the sheds, getting ready to get cracking. Of course, Seaford College, many of you will have seen on our live stream last week on Friday night, where they beat RGS High Wycombe in a tremendous game in the sunshine. But here tonight, under the lights, at the home of the former Premiership champions, it's a very different sort of atmosphere. There's a bit of a tension. Everyone's ready to go. Just to let you know before we get cracking, a couple of bits of housekeeping really. We've got some live streams coming up. On Friday night, we're off to Warwick to go and take in Warwick against Denison College, which should be a cracking game. And the following Friday, we're off to Grasshoppers RFC in West London rather than the north that we're in today, where we'll be taking in the Oratory against London Oratory, a bit of a derby game there. But as we prepare for this game, just run through a couple of things that these guys have been up to in the recent past. Haileybury, of course, quite well associated with Saracens. And to just have a little chat about Haileybury, I'm going to introduce my co-commentator for today, Haileybury pupil Ollie Hodges-Jackson. Hi, Ollie.
Hi, good to be here.
So you're just watching the teams warm up there, but I want to chat to you about how Haileybury have been getting on so far this season. Of course, 2 wins under their belt and a really tight game against Oundle last week.
Yeah, obviously the first game was cancelled against Wellington, and then they travelled to Felsted. Bit of a grudge match because 2 teams from the local area. Haileybury got away with a nice 24-14 win, and last weekend they had a tight game, 16-14 to Oundle, which was really impressive after they had 2 men put in the sin bin.
And who are we looking out for today from Haileybury? I've heard good things about fullback Joe Robinson.
Joe Robinson's the main man. Yeah, very, very quick feet, very fast. Both wingers are quick as well, and I think the fly half Ben Spencer will have a lot to do today.
Yeah, and of course, Dan Cannon, the captain. There's going to be a real battle in the second row between Dan and Johnny Green of Seaford College. And as we pan out to have a quick look at the giant Johnny Green on his march outside, we'll just have another look at a couple of the Haileybury boys. We've got obviously Icky Osibor. Do you remember the surname? There was, I believe his brother Ehimen, who did some wonderful things whilst in a school shirt. And Icky, we're expecting big things of tonight as well. Another of the Saracens Academy lads. Now on to Seaford College, who of course we saw the other day. Tremendously big front row. They're a powerful old unit. But as you were saying, Ollie, it's all going to be about that feed, isn't it, into the scrum?
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be to see if the referee pings the feed to the straight or to the side.
Yeah, no, all be about that straight feed, won't it? It's the referees are in so many areas the arbiters of the game and make all that difference. Right, we can see Seaford College going in. They're going to be out in just a couple of seconds, 3 minutes until kickoff, and we're just going to have a quick run through some of the big action coming up this weekend. Of course, Warwick against Denison College I've already told you about, but there are some other big old games on Friday night. Sedbergh against Woodhouse Grove. Many of you will have tuned into our stream on Saturday where Woodhouse Grove took on Barnard Castle and well, they were at home, but they took the victory. Tremendous achievement against a Barnard Castle side that have been making some fantastic strides. But a game that many of you probably haven't been paying attention to on Friday night that I want you to, because it's KCS Wimbledon at home against St George's Weybridge. Now, KCS Wimbledon have scored over 50 points in their first 2 games, playing against some fantastic opposition. So do keep an eye on that, and we'll try to keep you posted while Warwick Denstone is going on. Now we're shortly approaching kickoff here at StoneX. Worth noting the director of rugby at Haileybury College, which is Michael Owen, the former Wales skipper, 2005 Grand Slam. Went on the Lions tour, of course, in 2005 as well, and captained the side at the Millennium Stadium, you remember, the last Lions game on home soil before that game on this tour up at Murrayfield. Seaford College, led by Liam Doubler. Of course, their headmaster is John Green, the former Saracens player, whose father, of course, is Johnny Green, the captain. But a name to note with Seaford College is Sean Thompson, current director of rugby at Hampton School, who will be moving to Seaford College at Christmas time. So keep an eye out for him on the circuit at Sevens time. And we will shortly be taking a quick look through the teams as we run through the team sheets. We've got a number of exciting players coming up. Haileybury, of course, with Ossibor, Wright and Kim in the front row. Ossibor, who we've already mentioned. Webster and Cannon in the second row. Cannon, the captain. The back row, Jamie Cotton, Toby Rinn and Sam Aylwin. Halfbacks, Tim Hayes, Ben Spencer, Ben Carlos Spencer, as many are calling him. In the centres, Harry Seagrave and Dan Hoyes, the vice-captain. In the back row, Jack Holloway, Jacob Stanley and Joe Robinson. Replacements, Damon Hibbard, Will Rayfield, Tommy Ugandare, Freddie Bayliss and Finn Newton. And of course, as mentioned, the head coach is Michael Owen. Seaford College, fullback Will Bowley. You'll remember him from last time out against RGS High Wycombe, kicker supreme. On the wings, Harry Lever and David Rees, and in the centres, Henry Boyle and Elliot Parson. Halfback, Sam Skinner and Bruno Perry, and up front, Taylor Gale, Sam Wood and Jack Wadman, the strong man. We'll be getting back to that at some point. In the second rows, Harry Foster and Johnny Green, the captain, and in the back row, Fraser Lyne, Tom Sunray Jellis and Max Wiltshire, and head coach Liam Doubler, and replacements Joe Pearce and Richard Twitchen. And I must say a quick thank you to Tom Sunray Jellis, who gave us a whole load of information on the Seaford College team this afternoon. So a very big shout out to him, and I'm sure we'll be making note of him as the game goes on. Haileybury now out onto the pitch. Their supporters crowding the touchlines. They don't want these seats. They want to be right on the touchline as we await Seaford College any moment now. So Ollie, the calm before the storm. Those players must be excited. It's a huge opportunity for them, isn't it?
Yeah, of course. The changing room would have been buzzing, but just before this, playing some good music before they've come out, ready to give it their all today.
What sort of tunes can we expect in that changing room?
50 Cent, I think, was playing when I left.
Some things never change. We can hear the Seaford boys now making their way out. Bit of noise in the tunnel. Boots clashing, ready to go. Haileybury in that familiar huddle, counting down as we wait patiently for Seaford College to run out to this magnificent stadium that is under redevelopment. Many of you will know the new stand being built behind us. You're looking at the old stand. The big new stand behind us is going to dominate the skyline over here in North London as Seaford College, led by the enormous Johnny Green, comes charging out onto the field. Final thoughts now from the Seaford team. Haileybury have said all that needs to be said. They're just waiting for that first contact now. And what's it been like at the school, Ollie, with the boys getting back into action and sort of a real buzz around the place, I'd imagine?
Yeah, the atmosphere's been good. I mean, they're training kind of 5 times a week, and often there's people watching them train on terrace.
Seaford already. The crowd noise is huge. And that man, Bruno Perry, standing ready. Will Bowley, in fact, standing ready for kickoff.
Happy blue.
The man with the metronomic boot. A strong first carry from Haileybury. Forward pack charge over and a penalty right away. And that is the start that Haileybury would have wanted. Something we saw in that game against RGS High Wycombe from Seaford College. A little bit of ill discipline early on. As Ben Spencer looks for touch. A thumping kick. A stunning touch finder. Well, Ollie, you were saying to me before the game that we can expect big things from the boot of Ben Spencer, and that was an example right there, wasn't it?
Ben Carlos Spencer, yeah.
You said that, yeah.
Ben right to throw in then. It's the skipper, Cannon, that gets it. Out to the back line. Spencer now. Wide. Spilled in midfield though. Green's first carry of the game gets across the game line. Skinner scuds one through. Robinson though goes long. Bit of kick tennis here, but it's on to Bowley. High tackle. Seaford advantage. Here we go.
No advantage. High tackle. Yeah. Sorry? Yeah, no, he was going low. It's penalty only.
No advantage gained there for Seaford though, so we'll come back for the penalty. Haileybury just asking the question about looking like they want the game slowed down, to be honest. I'm not surprised. It started at a lightning pace, hasn't it, Ollie?
Yeah, it had strong first hits there though, on both sides.
There's a real sense that both sides are very, very up for this, and no surprise, you know, playing in a ground like this, it's a magnificent occasion for anyone. As we've seen through the years, you know, cup semi-finals and things like that being played down here. Haileybury, of course, with a game here every year. It's a very, very special place to play.
No ball. No ball.
Short delay while we wait for a ball. Always useful.
Fine. Time's off.
And we have one.
Happy?
Ideal.
Yeah, time on.
Not straight first throw.
Option, line out, or you can scrum. Line out or scrum, not straight. You want the line out again? Your line out, yeah?
Interesting call, Ollie, wouldn't you say? As we were saying before the game, big discrepancy in the size of the packs. So given the choice between a line and a scrum, Haileybury opt for the line out.
Yeah, interesting. I mean, Seaford have a much bigger pack than Haileybury, but they've gone for the line out. Obviously, they don't have their normal thrower. Ollie Jason, the usual hooker, is out with a concussion at the moment. And they've just thrown it back to Seaford.
Johnny Green getting up there and getting his hands on, and it's a thundering run there from Line, I should say. Intercepted though, breaking down the wing. Jacob Stanley, and it's Robinson herring after it. Well tidied up by Skinner though, and now Seaford on the return. David Rees on this right wing, stepping in, looking for the offload now. Can't get it away into Haileybury territory though. Skinner now feeds his forward pack out the back. Perry taking it into contact, might have wanted to try and get that one away, but they have got it rid. Green feeds Rees down that right wing again, almost gets it back, but Green's there to tidy up. Perry fires wide, tidied up by Wadman. Skinner avoids the intercept. And now Line gets it wide. Parson darting this way and that, gets the offload in. Deep into Haileybury territory now with flowing attack here.
Penalty advantage blue.
With the penalty advantage as well now. Seaford College making real inroads. And Haileybury have done well, even with giving the penalty away there, to keep them out, to be honest.
Scrum called. Scrum's called.
Let's go forward.
Well, a tremendous little passage of play there, Ollie, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. It's interesting how they've taken the decision to take the scrum instead of the points. They obviously feel like they can turn this momentum into a try.
Well, I guess as we were noting earlier, when your opposition turns down a scrum, when they've got the option of a line out, it does incentivise you to go after the scrum next time.
Strong push.
One thing they have to be careful of, though, that we should note in school rugby is you can only drive forward 1.5 meters. So they have to be very careful. We saw that one shooting forward. And Seaford have got to be careful to make sure they don't give away the penalty on their own scrum by driving too far, too fast. That all, by the way, in the name of safety. These are only young men after all.
Crouch. Bind. Set.
Yeah, boy.
Hold now. Blue hold. Stop cover. It's cover.
Another penalty at the scrum there.
Scrum. Scrum.
Scrum called again. Well, we were having a chat off air about what the point of the goal line dropout was, and it's to avoid this very situation, albeit on held up tries. I think there's a real desire to not have too many scrums, but what an attacking weapon it can be.
Crouch. Bind. Set.
Haileybury get the shove on this time.
Well, it's a tremendous shoulder on from Haileybury. Seaford going backwards. Almost turned by Haileybury. Green, a bit on his own. Makes ground. Good emergency clear-up operation there. That's Tom Sunray. Feisty, but Haileybury are all over him like a rash there.
Penalty advantage blue. Hold. Balls up, balls out.
Green tips it on. Offload away. Bowley's wrapped up. Lovely work there from the Haileybury defence.
Backwards.
And a thumping tackle there from Haileybury number 8, Sam Aylwin. A man described to me this afternoon as one of the most hard-working men in the team.
You'll see him everywhere tonight, Sam Allen. Doesn't stop working the whole game.
Will we now? 12. Yeah, just flip over. 12. Yeah. You can't flip him. He's gone on his back. It's a yellow card. He's gone on his back. 10.
Well,
7,
Henry
8,
Boyle
8.
there with the yellow card just
reversed. Short penalty.
just went past the horizontal in the tackle, and Haileybury will have the penalty and a chance for Spencer to put that fantastic boot of his to use.
10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10. Spencer. That's it.
What's his banana kick like, though? Not bad. Makes 10-15 yards from a tricky angle there.
Here's your mark. There's yours.
I'm told that Spencer is rarely to be seen without a ball in his hand.
Yeah, he just loves playing with the ball in his hand, you know, looking for the space and seeing what he can do. And often he finds the space.
You can see there the pressure on the throw was tremendous. The front options were cut off for Haileybury there, so they had to go to the tail, putting the pressure a bit on Wright's throw. Not hugely not straight, and there was no compete at the back, but the referee probably right to call that one.
Crouch. Bind. Stand up. We've both just fallen in. Far sides both just fallen in.
Harry, hold the push.
Need to hold it back. Keep that space between the shoulders.
Harry, hold the push.
See if you can hear that coming across the ref mic, but Harry, hold the push.
Crouch. Bind. Set.
Skinner puts in. Again, a good nudge from Haileybury. And it seems as though they've, after that first scrum that went firing backwards, they've worked things out pretty quickly.
Don't pull, don't pull.
They've done a lot of work on the scrum this week as well, so that's what they would have been hoping for.
Well, and of course with Osobor in the loose head jersey, he might not be the biggest man in the world, but he's a talented player and a stocky lad. He's clearly worked things out. And on the kick return there, a fantastic turnover there from Owen.
Penalty.
Gives Haileybury the penalty.
Post called.
40 metres out, and of course, Spencer eyes up the post. We know he's got the range for this.
Indeed, he hasn't missed a shot at goal this season, so it'll be interesting to see. I'd say this is the furthest back he's been, to see if he gets it.
Well, there was absolutely no doubt in his mind. As soon as the penalty was won, he was striding up and pointing at the sticks. It was only a case of when the referee would notice.
Encouraged by Harry Seagrave as well, the 12.
After a 5-minute period of intense Seaford pressure, it's Haileybury with the chance to take the lead. For man, of course. Spencer, it's certainly got the legs. And it's arrow straight from Ben Spencer. A 3-0 lead for Haileybury. And there's 3 minutes left on that. Sin binning for Seaford College. Haileybury have taken advantage magnificently. Wonderful play on the floor from Alwyn. The number 8 certainly living up to the pre-game hype. Oh, almost one of the most athletic takes in the air I've ever seen there from David Rees. Just spilled as he landed on the deck, and the force of the impact forced the ball clear. So Haileybury with the advantage, and of course it's that man Alwyn charging up again.
Man of the match last week against Oundle as well.
And no surprise on the early evidence here. Spencer kicks long. Bowley evades the first man, and here he goes. Almost tackled. He's streaking away now down the left-hand side, steps in, gets the offload away. Of course, Green is there. And then Sunray, like any good open side, with the final carry there before taking it to deck. Perry goes cross-field. Rees can't quite compete. Oh, offload away from Hoyes. And it's Jack Holloway rather, streaking down the left.
Not that blue!
Goes to deck. Slow ball. Seaford have managed to slow it down. Cannon carries in midfield. Stunning break there from Jack Holloway, released by Dan Hoyes. And it's another Haileybury penalty. And again, as last week, is a bit of ill discipline from Seaford College early in the game. Utterly understandable there, though, as Haileybury seizing on the crossfield kick. Brilliant play from Dan Hoyes. First of all, to stay on his feet for so long, but then to get the offload away, and then lovely feet from the diminutive Jack Holloway down the left wing. Holloway, of course, a head of house at Haileybury. And Spencer almost predictably bangs over the extras. Well, bangs over the points. 6-0 lead for Haileybury, and they are taking advantage of this yellow card period. Just under a minute left.
I need a lift of the ball. I need a clear lift, a clear attempt to lift. If you make an attempt to lift, then I can reward you.
And Wiltshire there just trying to get some clarity for that last penalty. A wise decision from him, and the referee telling him that he needs to see an attempt to lift the ball, not just to play the ball on the deck.
Advantage. Lost forward, he's an offside. Not forward, 14's offside, in offside position.
Well, Ken Owens and Alan Wynne-Jones, sorry, Ken Owens and Sam Warburton rather would try and get in the referee's ear to get that talked down to a scrum, but accidental offside penalty for Haileybury.
When it goes out.
Spencer missed touch. He got ambitious with that one. And a brilliant kick from Bowley. And I think Holloway there just had too many things to think about between trying to keep the ball in field and trying to catch the ball. And in the end, just couldn't quite do either. Henry Boyle then back on the field. It's been a well-managed period, that I would say, for Haileybury in the yellow card break, getting their 2 penalties for a 6-0 lead, really capitalising on having the extra man.
Set. Use now. No. Can't take advantage.
Just a bit too enthusiastic there from Tim Hayes. Gives Seaford the advantage. Green with the big carry, but marshalled eventually.
Legal turnover, back to penalty.
Well, Haileybury with some fantastic work on the floor. Unfortunately, to no avail from their point of view
9
on this occasion because of the advantage for Seaford. But they'll be very happy with that work in the midfield to get Green under control and then get on the ball on the floor. Bowley then to the corner. The man with the metronomic boot. And you can see here on the replay, just too early there from Tim Hayes, just a tad enthusiastic. I like that from a scrum half, though. I like them to be a bit enthusiastic in those situations. Seaford to the tail, scrappy ball, but Skinner gets his hands on it. And it's away. Perry into the midfield now. Seaford back the other way, but it's a messy ball once again. And Dan Cannon, the Haileybury skipper, is there to tidy up.
Advantage. Lost forward. Scrum. Legal turnover. Yeah, this is no advantage. 6 was legal.
Well, I think what's noticeable early on from Seaford College, and we'll see it here as it was Gale, I think, just spilling it, but is the enthusiasm from the man on the inside of that little triangle of 3, the pod waiting to collect the ball. The enthusiasm of the man on the inside is such that they've spilled a couple of those because they're wanting to get their hands on the ball. Just need to settle down a touch.
Hold on 7. Okay.
Hayes gets it away. Spencer now out into his midfield. A thumping carry there.
Harry Seagrove.
Inside the 50.
That's Spencer looking for that 50-22. May run long. Will come all the way back for a scrum. That long boot of his almost working out of favour for him that time.
It's unlucky. You could see what he was trying to do. He was trying to get it to bounce out in the 22 to make it Haileybury line out, but just too long.
Of course, for viewers who've not seen too much rugby so far this season, the 50-22, a new law introduced. Any kick that you kick from inside your own half that lands in the opposition 22 and then rolls out, results in a line out for you, the attacking side. We've seen a fair bit of that in rugby league, haven't we? The old 40-20, as I think they called it.
Crouch. Bind. Set.
One thing that's not been poached from Rugby League, though, is the scrum. That remains a firmly competitive thing and a close run battle there as Seaford go wide. Strong work in defence once more from Haileybury there. And now they ruck through. Counter ruck for the turnover. And Haileybury outgunning their physically superior opponents at the breakdown there. Fantastic work from them.
That's a great body position there he got into.
Tom Sunray, like any good open side, just bouncing onto his feet and getting over the ball. As you say, fantastic body position.
Post. Post.
That's a long kick.
By my amateur measuring status, I'd call that 46, 47 meters probably.
Something like that, yeah.
Bowley, though, saw on Friday night that he can certainly land a kick. Just to bring things to 6-3. Not quite caught it right. He'll drop short and wide. Hayes breaks away, gets it upfield, and there is space. And the absolutely flying Joe Robinson is after this, just tidied up by Skinner, and now we'll have a counter.
Inside 50.
And Bowley goes for the 50-22, just shielded by Jack Holloway. Charge down, tidied up though. Ball's bobbling and weaving in the Haileybury 5-metre line. Seaford have got it back now.
Not on the ball, not on the ball, 5. On the body. Hold, hold!
And Green pulls it out the back. Oh, Sunray, the open side, showing rare ambition, goes for the dink through, just drops long.
Goal line dropout.
And it'll be a goal line dropout. Another of the new rules we've been talking about.
What? Goal line dropout. What are you called? Scrum called.
I believe, according to the referee,
Scrum.
in a situation where the ball is kicked dead, you have the option of a scrum or a goal line dropout. I'll be honest, I haven't brushed up that much on the rules. I don't know if the ref's right or if he's wrong, but I think we can all say the referee is always right, so we'll trust him.
Crouch. Bind. Set.
A bold call, though, from Haileybury to go for the scrum on their own line, and Seaford feel that. Feel the fury of being asked to make a scrum there.
Need the hold, need the hold. When I call, we need the hold. What's that? It's your scrum, your scrum. When I call, I need the hold.
Well, a huge scrum from Seaford. It was almost as if they were offended at being asked to compete in the scrum like that.
Yeah. Crouch. Bind.
So pressure on the Haileybury scrum here.
Set.
Seaford, another big drive, but an illegal drive.
One angle.
It's the angle there from Jack Wadman. We know he has the power, but he's just brought his hips out there.
Number 1 stepped out and gone in. Driving in, driving in.
Spencer brings his side up and approaching the 10-metre line, and with about 10 minutes left to go in the half, a much closer game of rugby than we've seen across much of the action through the rest of the day. A fantastic competition so far. Haileybury really showing a good account of themselves, particularly physically, I think, against a massive side.
I felt you stepped straight out. Yeah.
Cannon, the skipper, collects.
Spencer
pumps it down. Counter-attacking opportunity now. Harry Lever darting in. Gets it to his fullback, Bolu. Gets the offload away.
Ball's out, it's fine.
And again, a theme of the game so far. Seaford College on the attack, but spilling as the ball goes from the base of the ruck out to those next couple of passes. Dangerous running from Bowley at the back, though. And I don't know if you can hear over the ref mic as clearly as me, but some heavy breathing coming through. I think a few of the boys are feeling it, aren't they, Ollie?
Crouch.
Yeah, indeed. It's been an intense game so far. A lot of open play. Not a lot of chances to put some phases together and get some structure into the game yet.
Ball's up.
Yeah, yet to see any real sustained attacking pressure, but perhaps here Haileybury might have a go at stringing a few phases together. Cannon carries hard.
Not the ball, not the ball. No, it's on the body. Hold, hold, hold.
Spencer out the back.
Take
Stabbed
back
through
inside.
there. And Holloway's after this. Bowley hoofs it downfield and no one home. That takes a skip right. He could be in for the elusive 50-22. But Hoyes is back to cover it and gets it safely clear. Long kick downfield, almost up to the halfway line. It seems though a tactic of Haileybury's is to get the ball in behind the defence. Once they get into that sort of channel between the 22 and the halfway line, a couple of times now they've looked for that probing kick in behind. Seaford College, on average, looking to try and counter when they get the ball unless they're under tremendous pressure, but then finding it hard to execute in those final phases as Green knocks forward in the line out. We'll come back for another scrum.
Knock on. Great scrum. Crouch.
It's a good attacking
Bind.
platform here for Haileybury.
Set.
Just inside their own half.
Hold now, blue.
But a big scrum from Seaford, gets the turnover, and Whitman off to Skinner. A big carry in midfield once again from Boyle. Brilliant work on the floor. Once again, Haileybury, this is a consistent theme through that game, through this game rather. Couldn't quite make out who it was on the deck. I think it was the open side, Toby Rinn. A real feature of the game so far, wouldn't you say, Ollie? With huge competition on the floor from Haileybury.
Yeah, both teams seem to be getting over the ball very quickly and getting low and almost into an immovable position.
And I suppose, with the head of rugby, who's a former back rower, Wales international, British and Irish line, I guess that's going to be something that's worked on a lot as a specialist skill of his. He was known as a ball player first and foremost, but an expert on the floor as well, and you can see that translating across to some of these boys.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, a lot of time in training is spent on getting the right body position, because if you don't have the ball, you can't score points.
Wiser words have never been said. If you don't have the ball, you can't score points.
Don't change that 5. Don't change that 5. Don't left 2. 2 don't left. Don't change behind 19.
Another penalty coughed up. And the referee was communicating, don't change your bind or you can't go for the ball.
Yeah.
Only Green just getting some clarity on that one. He's not going for the kick, is he?
He's on. Post.
Yeah, once the tee comes on, they can't change their mind, so it doesn't look like they have much of a choice anymore.
Well, I suppose when you've got Spencer's boot, why wouldn't you? We saw that kick from straight in front, roughly, well, probably 4 or 5 meters closer in than this, straight in front of the post, but it absolutely sailed through with plenty of room to spare. So I suppose what we can say is he definitely has the length if he catches this right.
Almost an identical kick on the other side to Will Bowley just 5 minutes ago.
Can Spencer succeed where Bowley couldn't? Bowley. My apologies to Nat Miller, who spent a good hour trying to make sure that I pronounced that name correctly. Spencer gives it a whack. It's got the
22.
distance, but not quite the line. Didn't
22.
quite sound right off the boot, that one. So it stays at Haileybury 6,
22 dropout.
Seaford College 0. And we've got about 5 minutes left in the half.
Make sure they're all behind. Make sure they're all behind 10.
It's going to be Bowley with the dropout. It's gone straight down the throat of the Haileybury skipper Cannon. And another penalty coughed up for the high tackle. Advantage Haileybury.
No, it's your player.
And they will try and take advantage here.
Penalty advantage red.
Chipped in behind there from Hayes.
Let go, let go.
Rolls out. I think the
No
referee will
advantage.
come back. They will say that's no advantage.
High tackle. 10 metre.
It's a frustrating penalty that for Seaford College, who
Penalty only.
didn't have to go high. They just slipped up there and give away the penalty, and
Goal.
it'll be another shot at goal for Spencer. Who has the look of a man who's kicking himself for finally having missed one. So I suspect we'll see a full and deliberate proceeding to this kick. Spencer lines up the post. And this one just drifts right, and it'll be Seaford the counter. Releasing, I think that's Reese down the wing.
Not the ball, red, no! Red ball, no!
Thumping tackle from Haileybury once again, but too enthusiastic and give away the penalty.
Same as yours in the first half. Same as yours earlier on.
And as we
First player's got a roll. You're good there.
see Bowley attempting to go to the corner here after those two missed kicks. Worth noting the logo in the bottom right-hand corner of our screen. You'll notice today the Aura Trophy.
Blue,
Thank you very much to them. Without them, we wouldn't be able to go ahead. Many of you may have seen we went up and streamed their the Aura Trophy finals at Nottingham Rugby Club over the course of the summer, and this year the Aura Trophies actually running satellite competitions throughout the course of the year at various different schools, where you can have your chance to attempt to be named the best under-18 kicker in the British and Irish Isles. So do go and have a look at schoolofkicking.com to find out more about the Aura Trophy, a fantastic event. As Seaford College get on the attack. Bowley hammered in midfield. Fantastic tackle there from Harry Seagrave. Such a forceful hit, and forces the knock on. As Richard Twitchen comes on for Seaford College in the front row, replacing Taylor Gale.
Yeah, ball was lifted.
Harry Seagrave there with the big tackle, and Seagrave, one of two Middlesex cricketers in the Haileybury backline. Himself and Spencer, both wizards with the red ball as well as with the oval shaped ball.
Bind. Set. Hold blue. Not now, 6, not now.
Another thumping hit from Haileybury as Seaford looked to exploit the blind side. So again, scrappy ball off the base.
Leave it,
Perry does well to tidy it up. And no, Bowley, Rolls Royce they call him, and you can tell why. Still goes on.
Hold. What was that?
Skinner at the base, onto Sunray. Now Perry talking and jibing at his forwards and backs around him to get them into position. They go wide, could be isolated, but it's tremendous feet, wonderful feet from Henry Boyle there. Outstanding stuff. He looked isolated, looked as though he had to force himself not to be tackled, but his dancing feet took him away, and then the pace and acceleration to get around the corner and across the whitewash, and a wonderful bit of solo work there from Henry Boyle. And we see here, Ollie, it looked as though there was nowhere to go. He's on his own, but he just ducks the tackle, dances across, and forces his way down on the left-hand side.
Strong handoff. He doesn't even let the defender anywhere near him.
You can see what it means to these boys. They've been under the cosh a bit. Lots and lots of potentially promising possession from Seaford College, but they've not been able to take advantage. Errors here and there. A few drop balls, a couple of penalties given away, and you can see what it means to them to finally click as Boyle crossed the whitewash. It's a touchline conversion attempt from Bowley. At his side in the lead. Just strays a little to the left-hand side. Tough conversion there. So Haileybury remains 6-5 in front. A tense finish to this half. Can't be long left in it now.
Sorry?
It's a slow walk back up the field from Haileybury, sucking in the oxygen. I think they know there's probably going to be one last play in this half, and they want to make sure it counts. Spencer, high, hanging. And a thumping tackle there. Dan Hoyes.
Not now.
Wanting to show his strength in the tackle, and hasn't he done so there?
His own foot. Hold. On now.
Tim Hayes then
Inside
in the
50.
backfield. A clever little kick with the outside of his foot. Looking for the 50-22. Has he got it? Oh, we'll never find out.
Half time.
The referee blows for the half.
5 minutes, yeah? 5.
And at half-time, 6-5 to Haileybury.
Yeah.
2 penalties from the boot of Ben Spencer.
I'm calling them. I mean, I understand.
And then a
they can't
try,
stop.
a wonderful try from Henry Boyle. Few kicks left out there. 5 points left out there by Seaford and 6 left out there by Haileybury. But overall, a tremendous contest between these two sides. Haileybury utterly outstanding in defence. Some brilliant tackling and some unbelievable work on the deck. Seaford College looking like, if they can click, there's something there, but just struggling to get the ball through the hands off the breakdown, struggling a bit for that continuity at times. So Ollie, we'll take a look here at the Seaford College try, and it was well worked initially, and then out to the fly half here, and I thought there was no way that anything could happen here. I was thinking turnover all day, but brilliant work, as you say, a wonderful handoff, wasn't it?
Yeah, indeed. He's made something out of nothing there. Kind of 3 men on him in front of the try line, and he's got past all 3 of them.
Oh yeah, and the pattern of the game, and we can see here on the replay, look at this, the wide angle shows it brilliantly. There's only 2 men outside him, 1 man outside him rather, and he shrugs off the first defender, dances outside the second, hands off the third, and then it's just a race to the try line. And if the pattern of the half was anything to go by, I'm thinking Haileybury turnover all day there. Brilliant bit of finishing from Henry Boyle, an absolutely startling player, an Irish Exiles player as well, so keep an eye out for him playing across the Irish Sea at some point in the coming months and years. Described to me earlier today as Manu Tuolangi-like, and I think we saw it there, didn't we? So as we come to the midpoint in the halftime break, 6-5 to Haileybury, and we'll be back with you very, very shortly.
Introducing NextGenXV, the new home of school rugby.
Well, where does this come from?
Covering everything the school game has to offer in both the north and southern hemispheres.
Oh, that's a great tackle! It's not good enough! 1, 2, skip a few and with the wheels!
Highlighting tomorrow's stars, NextGen15 will be bringing you live games and a regular update of all the news and in-depth views on the global game.
What a kick!
All your school rugby, all in one place. This is NextGen15.
And a lot of chat coming through about bring on Will Rayfield.
Blue?
Johnny Green there collects the kickoff. And welcome back, 6-5 Haileybury. At half-time they lead Seaford College here at the StoneX Stadium, home of Saracens. Plenty of chatter at half-time coming through on the on our YouTube chat. Bring on Will Rayfield, I'm hearing. And Ollie, you've just been telling me that he's a year 11, is he?
Yeah, he's a big lad for his age. He's in the he's only in year 11, so he's playing up a couple of years here. He'll come on at prop, so right in the middle of that scrum.
Set!
Well, that'll keep the fans happy. Bring on Will Rayfield. Come on, Mr. Owen. Hayes then out to Spencer. A hell of a line there from Joe Robinson coming onto it at pace, but well met by the Seaford defence. Penalty Seaford, and you can hear, I don't know if you can hear it coming across on screen, but the roars from the Seaford College team there. They've had a good talking with each other at half-time, and you can see they've injected real passion amongst each other. Claiming that ball on the deck, cueing the celebrations as Bowley nudges it up towards the halfway line. Fantastic kick from him.
I'm fine.
And it's that man, once again, Tom Sunray.
Time's off.
The open side flanker. You mentioned it in the first half. Wonderful body position from him there, Ollie, and he's done it again.
Yeah, he's everywhere.
Yeah, time's off.
And if you're wondering where he gets that flexibility to get himself down on the deck, he apparently is very into his martial arts and has been working with coach Simon Staples alongside his rugby. And certainly that requires a lot of flexibility, and we're seeing that flexibility on the floor from Tom Sunray. Fantastic work from him. Couple of penalties in his favour already.
Let's go, Dickie. Head on now. Come on, Dickie.
There's neck injury, so just waiting for the pitch.
Short delay, an injury to Seaford College, and on trots Joe Pearce. Black shorts, so we should be able to notice him.
Shorts. Six goals. No shorts.
Pearce will be throwing into the line out.
Back.
Goes to Green, spills it, but it's gone backwards.
Release now, Red. Ball's there, no, ball's there.
Oh, and Boyle juggling with the ball, but manages to hold on to it. But once again, Haileybury on the floor.
Toby Rinn again.
Fantastic work from Rinn, and the two open sides are really going at it on the floor tonight, aren't they?
Yeah, they are.
It's like watching a young David Pocock and Richie McCaw in 2015 going after each other. So Haileybury nudge it up towards the 22. Good attacking platform here. Already we're seeing in this second half a bit of a repeat pattern from the first half as they pull the sneaky line out to the front to Ossibor, who gets a good drive on.
Tackle! Ball's there, ball's there.
Seeing a repeat, real physical contest on the floor and in the maul as Haileybury
Arrive up, Haileybury.
surge into the 22 now. And once again, who is it this time on the floor? I think that might have been the right wing, David Rees. Doing a flanker's work, but of course, everyone's got to do it. And I have been told that he is incredibly versatile as it is. Hails from Hong Kong originally and spent time training with the national squad there before joining up with Seaford College for sixth form, and certainly showing that versatility there as he competed hard on the deck for the ball, earning his side a penalty. Perry, fantastic touch finder from that angle actually. Almost up to the 10-metre line. There we go on the replay. It is Rees. He's there. He's all over it. Ossibor does his best to get rid of him, but he can't. And you have to say, David Rees showing his versatility. Haileybury pinch the line out.
Don't pull him through. Don't pull him through.
Spencer fires wide. Boys, slight miscue, but it'll work as Stanley gathers and then gets the offload away to Robinson. Chip and chase down the right-hand side. It's just a foot race now. Just evaded by the bounce. And now Seaford working hard in a tight gap. But I think Bowley's away here. Just pulled down, now knocked on, turnover again. It's back and forth like no tomorrow.
No advantage. Knock on. Scrum. Scrum.
Good attacking platform this if they can keep the ball at the scrum.
Well, the attack all came from that sort of miscued kick, but then it was good work from Stanley to get the offload in, and then the chip from Robinson. The bounce just gathered by Bowley.
Right, hold. Forward down. We've got forward
And
down.
then dancing feet was that.
Time off.
It was Rees
Time
again,
off,
actually.
Forward's gone down.
Just spilled as he hit the floor. As you say though, Ollie, a tremendous attacking platform this for Haileybury. And we've seen some contrasting fortunes so far in the scrum, haven't we? We've seen a couple that have been sort of dominant scrums from Seaford College, but then others where Haileybury have got the nudge on despite the size advantage that Seaford enjoy. And when they've done so with that man Wiltshire at the number 8 position, Haileybury have got a real weapon, haven't they? Slight delay here as a bit of strapping is applied to one of the Seaford College forwards. A dislocated finger never hurt anyone, eh?
6 minutes. Come on.
Send it back, yeah, let's send it back. Do the talking. Shut up, do the talking in the
I think it may have been
Crouch!
Harry Foster in the second row, who, by the way, was a back up until pre-season. Damascus conversion from him. Turned up to pre-season a back, and he started the first 2 games of the season in the second row.
Set!
And as we say, Haileybury, solid scrum there. Spencer with options. And it's Hoyes through the middle, busting through the middle, breaks the tackle, under the post. And Hoyes showing tremendous power to bust through in midfield and streak away under the post. And if we said Boyle was like a young Manu Tuolangi, well then Hoyes is definitely going to follow suit with that analogy as well, isn't he?
Yeah, what a line he chose there. Ben Spencer delayed the pass, found the gap, and he's straight through.
Well, as we see here, the ball gets away from a good scrum, and you can see Spencer looking for him, and he gets the pass through, and it's just power to break through the 2 tackles and accelerate away.
He plays a lot of touch rugby, but you wouldn't think that after a run like that.
I cannot imagine Dan Hoyes playing touch rugby.
Very elusive when you give him space.
Spencer to add the extras then. Gili does, and he nudges his side into a 13-5 lead. And well, it's the tale of the 2 centres at the moment from a try-scoring perspective. Henry Boyle just before half-time for Seaford College, and Dan Hoyes there responding in kind with another equally powerful try. Bursting through off the set piece and underneath the sticks.
9, we'll just wait because the 9's in the 10.
And all of a sudden, it's a bit of a gap this for Haileybury. 13-5, an 8-point lead. Seaford College with work to do. And an error off the kickoff from Seaford, and Haileybury will be looking to seize the advantage after that. We'll come back for a scrum on halfway.
They can kick it again.
Maybe another opportunity for a move similar to the one we just saw.
Well, indeed, and as we were saying before that first scrum, yeah, there have been some scrums that have been quite fairly dominant from a Seaford point of view, but others where Haileybury have got the nudge on and held it well. And that one for that try there was a tremendous example of that. They got the nudge on, moved it a little bit from the left-hand side, and that just set the platform to allow Spencer to unlock the backline, didn't it? And another solid scrum from Haileybury, driving backwards.
Inside the 50.
Spiral bomb from Ben Spencer. Well dealt with by Bowley, but thumped in the tackle by Ben Wright.
Not on the ball, Ed.
Robinson stabs the ball long. He's looking for that 50-22, but it's well dealt with by Reese.
Hold 7.
Who goes to the skies. Oh, collected, almost collected by Sam Skinner, but tackled into touch in the process of doing so.
There's your mark, yeah.
Well, we saw the full array of kicking skills from Ben Spencer there. The spiral bomb,
17,
very popular in the 80s and 90s, died a death for 20 years, and then George Ford last season reintroduced it, caused Anthony Watson all sorts of problems, and Ben Spencer clearly been practicing over the course of the last year.
Timing's fine. Timing's fine.
Spencer pumps the ball deep. Haileybury, dancing feet, held up though. He needs support
Not enough.
and gets it. And now exploring the short side, Seaford College. A thundering run there from Tom Sunray, who's having an absolute worldie of a game tonight. Spencer beats Foster.
No red, players in the way. Hold, hold.
And we're starting to see a bit of continuity as bursting through goes Gale. First time in the game we've really seen either side string together 5 or 6 phases. Those dancing feet that we saw against RGS High Wycombe.
Still in, still in. No,
Offloaded away.
Off the foot, off the foot.
But spilled in midfield from Gale, and then accidental offside as the players came in to support.
Yeah, no, they're both going down, it's fine.
I take that back, it looked like a high tackle rather than an accidental offside.
But they're both going down.
But look at this
only,
thundering carry from Gale. He thought about getting the offload and he went, nah, I just want more of that. But then here just spilled and then goes forward. Say a bit of a harsh call from the referee there. So an absolutely electric opening 10 minutes to this second half, Ollie. What have you made of it so far?
Yeah, I mean, they've got the backs into the game a lot more, whether it's from the set piece or just open play, and it's proving to be very effective.
Yeah, I mean, we saw Haileybury with sort of back and forth and then get on the attack and get that try off the set piece, and then Seaford with what seemed like a wobbly response with the kick not going 10, but then really for the first time in the game managing to string together a few phases and look quite threatening once they get that forward momentum.
Yeah, they seem to have got some structure into the game and put a couple phases together and broke the line as well.
And the good news is I think it's Wright that was down and he's back on his feet and ready for action. I take it back. It looks like it was Alwyn that was down, back on his feet though.
Is he going for posts?
T's called.
Well, that is quite something. Ben Spencer from, by my estimation, 56, 57 metres out. Certainly deep inside his own half.
This is Elliot Daly-esque.
Oh yeah, Saracens, are you watching? Well, this will be an extraordinary kick if he manages to land it. Ladies and gentlemen, you do not see a kick of this range very often in schoolboy rugby. You don't see it very often in rugby at all. Spencer, does it have the legs? Not quite, not quite. But it's a good decision either way, because with Seaford clearing only just beyond their 22, it'll be a Haileybury ball, probably where the kick to touch would have landed anyway.
It wasn't far away from Ben.
Yours there. Yours, yep. Yeah.
Came to throw in. Taken well by Owen.
One-handed.
A deliberate knock on there from Seaford. It's going to give Spencer another shot at the sticks. Well, his confidence remains undiminished.
Yeah, you'll see him practicing these every day at school, so it's not like he hasn't had enough practice.
Well, we've seen him get them from this range before, so we know he has the length. The only question will be, will he catch it right?
13-5.
What was that one for?
Just drifts to the left of the post.
Only 8 points.
20 left. 20.
So it stays at 13-5 in Haileybury's favour. A couple of chances have just slipped by there. Tough as they were. As Bowley thumps it down into Haileybury territory, and it's a bouncing ball, just tidied up in the end by Robinson. And Seaford managed to hold it up. It turned the ball into a maul before it went to deck. And it'll now be their turn, possibly for a shot at goal.
Captain. Post calls. Post.
And Bowley will go for the post.
Sorry?
Turning into a real tactical battle here tonight at StoneX Stadium.
They're having to fight for every single point.
Ollie? Yeah, pull and fill the field just in case he comes back. Pull and fill.
Well, we've seen Bowley as well go for a few from long range too, so he's another that's got good confidence in his range. Possibly Bowley. Nat Miller will tell us. Caught it well. Just creeps over. And Seaford College narrow the gap down to 13-8.
Time off subs.
And in that little tense period, 3 penalties over the course of 90 seconds or so, it's Seaford College that come away from it with the majority of the points for a 13-8 lead.
When you're ready, 10. Hold.
Oh. And Ossibor with the clear out to turn the ball over there. And Haileybury onto the attack straight away. Well, Ossibor just with the tremendously physical clear out earns aside the turnover, and now they've got a brilliant attacking platform inside the opposition 22. It's Haileybury wiggling forward, but who's that on the deck this time? It's the number 8, Max Wiltshire. And once again, pattern of the game this, Ollie, isn't it? Every time a team makes a bit of ground, there's someone from the opposition just doing some tremendous ferreting work. Here
Yeah, I mean,
Wiltshire just on the ball, and there's no getting him off that once he's on it.
I'm giving you the same. I'm giving you guys the same. So. Move. Don't change now. Two don't change.
Seaford on the move with the ball. Breaks away. That man Jellens again. Perry. Yet more physical work from Haileybury in midfield as Perry stabs it through. But Robinson covers across to pick it up. Chased down by Green. Green, an animal in the second row.
Hold.
That's tidied up by Haileybury. Bowley's got a chance on the move. Oh, he thought about going for the big wide pass, didn't he? right down on this left-hand touchline. Haileybury, though, fierce competition on the floor, making life incredibly difficult for Seaford College. As Gale, not to be outdone by his front row partner, Wadman, makes good ground. Thumping carry once again from Sunray. Onto the Haileybury 5, but it's spilled, and Haileybury with the crucial turnover on their own line there. And again, we see this pattern of play as Seaford get through the momentum, get on the charge. We've got Gale there punching through. We've got Sunray then following it up with another brilliant carry, but just spilled at the last. Well, it's a sort of worrying sign for Seaford, isn't it, that they can't, just when the moment comes, they can't quite get the ball to go to hand. But on the other hand, if you're Haileybury, you're looking at it and you're going, what brilliant work on the floor, what brilliant work to get the ball back.
Yeah, I mean, everyone's been so quick over the ball, but I think Seaford will just be disappointed not to turn the pressure into points so far.
All 6 of you, all pre-engaged. You need to get your gap. It was much better at the end of the first half. We're then getting closer and closer, all right?
Seaford will be looking at this scrum as an opportunity to put Haileybury under pressure under their own post.
Bind. Set.
Haileybury, though, will be looking at this as a chance to go from deep, I suspect. Scrappy ball for Spencer, but he gets it, gets rid, gets it deep. Bowley's after it, though. Little hop, skip, and a jump, and away he goes.
Falling into it, no, fell into it, fell into it. No, you've fallen into it. Two, not now, two.
The crowd really helping Haileybury's defence here.
Not held.
Yeah, right next to that patch of thick Haileybury support as they turn that ball over. Big carry from right.
Blue, no. Hold.
Spencer to the air. Stabs it through. Difficult one to take, but Lever manages. Darts inside. He's away through the middle. Lever's away. Can he get the ball away now? Lever can't be put down. Finally is. That's Pearce. Moves it on one.
Red on the ball.
Harry Lever with the searing break down this left-hand side to put Seaford in an attacking position.
12, no.
Hold it,
A dart through now, this time from Joe Pearce.
Never on the ball.
And another dart through. Seaford eating up the yards at the moment. Snaffled there by Haileybury. Tremendous work, but they give away the penalty at the death there.
Same as there, it's just falling down.
Well, Harry Lever, a stunning break to put Seaford College into position. And they look as though they're thinking about going for the corner here.
Nice bounce. Big D, Haileybury.
And the Rolls Royce at fullback sticks the ball into the corner. Seaford College here with a huge attacking platform, but look at this break from Harry Lever. He had no right to make this sort of ground.
12.
Just a bit over enthusiastic from Haileybury there.
Right, time off.
In their desperation to cut off the supply chain.
Yeah. 12.
Huge set, fellas.
Yes. Time's off, we've got an injury. And it's on the line, so it's too close.
He has short delay before this line out.
12.
An injury down in the bottom left-hand corner of our screens. Seaford College with the attacking platform. You've got to think that Johnny Green is the target man here. The big 6'8" Harlequins in England, second row.
There's you.
But we saw against RGS, they used him as a decoy often. Not this time though. Straight to Green, gets it to the back, and now we have them all. Haileybury respond well, but away, charging towards the line. Goes Seaford College. But it's held up by Haileybury.
Goal line dropout.
Held up and a goal line
Goal
dropout.
line dropout.
As we explained earlier, nowadays, if you're held up, it's a goal line dropout. Well, it looked for all the world like that maul was marching forwards, but someone in a Haileybury shirt, I couldn't make out who at first glance, has managed to get themselves between ball and ground. A fantastic piece of defensive play from the men in purple.
8 down, he's too close. 13-8.
And you have to wonder, was that a crucial moment in the match? A 7-point swing in many ways there.
No, he's still behind you.
And Spencer with the chance to boot the ball clear. Now, we said in pre-game, Ollie, didn't we? There's an opportunity for a drop goal in quick response here. I don't think anyone's going to go for it, not with that length.
Yeah, it's a lot more difficult when you're receiving the kick of Ben Cole or Spencer.
Hold, blue, 10, hold, blue 10.
And there's an opportunity here for Haileybury to counter-attack.
10.
But they have a penalty. Perry just a bit too enthusiastic in his kick chase. And Haileybury go quick, marching upfield.
Don't go inside.
Spencer wide to Ossibor. Gets the offload away, but it wasn't expected, I don't think.
Not 8, not now 8.
Oh, yes, Benny.
Ogundane apologise.
Backwards.
The game breaking up, but Perry stabs it through and there is space in behind. Robinson having to cover a lot of ground to tidy that up. Now he's running, gets the ball deep.
Hold, red hold. One hold.
Sunray inevitably is where the ball is. Looks to carry. Well shackled by the Haileybury defence. And suddenly the game full of spark and life. As dabbed through goes Bowley. And Hayes calms things down. Reese beats the first man, beats the second man. Thundering tackle from the third man though.
Never on the ball. Hold.
Wadman spreads it wide to Green, who gets the offload away, and now Bowley on the attack. Those quick feet of his getting him past the first defender. But once again,
By the fullback.
Joe Robinson
He's on the ball and made it.
getting himself over the ball. And as we're seeing, every player from 1 to 15, 1 to 20 on both sides, utterly committed. Every time the ball is on the floor, the competition is utterly riotous, isn't it?
The game taking its toll now as 4 or 5 players are down across the field.
Well, it's one thing that you do see often when teams come to play on this pitch. It saps the life out of your legs. A lot of boys down with cramp, but nothing else really at the moment. And it's a big wide pitch. It's a heavy pitch, being the artificial surface. And as we've seen in the last 5 minutes, the pace of the game is just ramped up beyond belief. I say it's a heavy pitch as if I'm playing on it all the time. I've walked across it 2 or 3 times and it took its toll.
8 left.
It's a long walk.
Certainly is when you're trying to get to the other side and back at half time. So here we see the hold-up try. Seaford College break off to the right-hand side. And it's the scrum half, I think, Tim Hayes, that gets himself underneath it.
Still right if you play on the far side.
Aided and abetted by Freddie Bayliss. On the floor, the substitute coming on and making his value well known.
8. Player, come on. You happy?
Well, Ollie, I think a couple of those Haileybury boys, if they come through this one with the victory, will be talking about that moment with a fair bit of pride in training in midweek.
They'll be buzzing.
As we almost...
Blue, use the line.
lose an eyeball or two to a ball flying through the commentary position.
Blue, use the line. No, you bring a step there on the line,
A lot of chatter before this line out. Both sides know this is a crucial period in the game. Just under 10 minutes left to go. You have to feel there's probably only one more score in this. Gale tidies up the loose ball and gets on the rampage once more. Another that's had a fantastic game. Perry gets the ball away. And Seaford College making yards. Boyle just looking to break free down that right-hand touchline. Seaford coming more and more into this game as the game goes on.
Hold. Advantage.
And Gale,
6 offside.
as we said there, coming into it more as the ball goes wide. Bowling evades the first man. Oh, could he have got the ball away? The chance was on for Lever if he could get the ball.
6 offside.
But Bowley just couldn't quite get the ball away in time. But they'll come back for the penalty as
6 offside.
Jamie Cotton just strayed offside, but understandably so, such is the pressure coming through from Seaford College at the moment. And the big question now for Seaford College is, do they think they have enough time to come back for another score?
Scrum called.
They don't. The scrum is called.
Got a prop down.
Well, Gale with a brilliant carry and offload, and then it's that man Bowley getting himself around the first man and just, I think, thought that Robinson was going to drift out wide to Lever on the wing, so he took it in. We just see him go there, takes him on the outside. You think at this point, give it, oh, not
That
quite.
last scrum, the gap was much better. Let's keep it at that.
Big scrum this then for both sides.
Bind.
For Seaford, time running out
Set.
to get themselves back into this game. For Haileybury, you have to feel if they can keep Seaford College out here, they may well have the time on their side. A snaffle there. David Rees looking to make the break down the right-hand side, but scythed down by Jack Holloway. And Finn Newton there is out on the floor.
He's made a lift up.
And it's high.
He's made a lift, and that's enough. I'll watch him. I'll watch it. Yeah, the second tackle was over there.
Well, once again,
second tackle.
Haileybury, when they look stretched, when it looks for all the world like they're on the back foot, out of nowhere, someone steps up and poaches the ball back. And on this occasion, I think it may well have been Finn Newton. Spencer can't find his touch though, so Seaford will get back on the attack as Bowley goes looking for another gap. Dart through the middle there. Looks like Joe Pearce making the extra yards. And Perry sees space in behind, and there is plenty. The ball just beats everyone though and drifts out into touch. And it's all hands on deck for Haileybury now as Seaford College are coming in waves.
There's yours, Haileybury. There's yours.
Boys, you get the boys up, come on. Boys, energy up.
You can see a slow trudge to this line-out. There's a few tired boys out there. This last 5-10 minutes of intense action starting to take its toll.
Off now. Don't come in, don't come in.
Seaford tidy up the loose ball, and now that'll mean they have an attacking platform here inside the Haileybury 22. As Boyle goes dancing away. And now the challenge for Haileybury is going to be, can they keep this powerful pack out? And the answer to that is yes. As once again they force the spill from Seaford College. And Haileybury escape from their own try line. Hayes kicks it clear, contest in the air, but Seaford straight back on the counter through David Rees on the right-hand side. And Haileybury just cannot escape their own 22.
Legs.
Attempted offload there from Sunray. Robinson, delicious offload. And the ball beats everyone, rolls into touch. And a well-earned breather for everyone on the field.
3.5.
Utterly breathless stuff with 3.5 minutes left to play.
I pushed it back.
Now's the time. Here we go, boys. Now's the time.
No, line out.
Well, this offload from Robinson.
Red zone exit.
There's your mark.
I don't know whether it was brave or brilliant or both.
There's yours. Keep this gap. Keep this gap.
Both, I'd say.
Make a mess of it, Toby.
Well, those are the sort of skills that no doubt have attracted Saracens towards him. And Seaford set up for the driving ball. They were held up last time they tried this. They break early. The ball set up tidily. Perry now takes it short on his own, gets the offload away, but spilled once again. And Seaford College, will they be left to rue these simple errors at times?
Relentless pressure on this Haileybury defence.
Scrum.
We're clean now, fellas. Take control and exit.
Perry here got the offload away, and just
3 minutes, sir.
as Boyle was looking to go wide, he just lost control of the ball. As the dew starts to set in, a greasier ball than you might expect despite it being a dry night.
Crouch. Bind. Set.
Haileybury then this scrum to clear their lines. 3 minutes left to play. Spencer kicks long but keeps it in field. Bowley finds space down the left-hand side. Bowley streaking down the left. Cuts inside, he didn't have to, but my goodness, he's going towards the post. Will Bowley. The Rolls Royce at the back. A stunning try. Well, he caught the ball and looked like he had it all to do. But he just arrived at full pace.
The space just opened up for him on the left-hand side.
He just rounded his kick chase, stepped in field here in an almost unbelievable moment, wasn't it? You thought, why is he taking the man on? But we see why. It's to get himself the easier kick under the post, and that, ladies and gentlemen, is the try scored by a man who knows he's the one that's taking the conversion.
Where's he found that from? I don't know. Bit of Fergie time.
Wait, we're restarting the half.
Oh, it has to be said. I take it back.
That's 20 seconds left.
Bowley been taken off kicking GT. Must have a bit of a knock, and it'll be Henry Boyle that'll take this kick.
10 left to kick.
Bowley, of course, they're the usual kicker, so he knew what he was doing, but Boyle pushes the kick wide. We stay level at 13 apiece. That stunning Bowley try goes unconverted. As Boyle, I said he wasn't the usual kicker, and perhaps just a touch out of practice. And now Haileybury with a decision. What sort of kick does Spencer go for here? Knowing that the game hangs in the balance, seconds left on the clock. He goes high and short, gives his side every opportunity.
Back by blue.
Knocked backwards. Seaford with the ball.
No red, no red, no red.
A stunning finish to this game. Which way is the tide going to turn? Green. Spilled again from Seaford College zone. Haileybury now with the ball. Turnover ball. Can they get it away fast? No, it's slowed down. Spencer looking for a man to carry for him, and it's that man Robinson that he goes to. Finding space. Ugandani now on the charge. Gets the ball away. Seagrave tidies things up. Slows it down. A moment of calm. And now the players go wide outside. Green almost with the interception, but there's space out wide here. And now it's down on the left-hand side. just held short.
You turn left, no. Get up. Balls there, don't
Haileybury
go in.
on the
Wide,
charge.
don't go in. Where do you put him there?
Can they finish this game with one of the most exciting and thrilling finishes that they will have had in years?
Not now, wide,
Seaford
players,
College
wide.
piling bodies into the breakdown.
Boys, one of you.
It's over the try line. Seaford bodies underneath it. Not quite over the try line, as it turns out. Another opportunity.
Short.
Hayes held short.
Balls lifted.
Haileybury go blind. Foot in touch. The final whistle goes. The game ends in a draw. Haileybury 13, Seaford College 13. A stunning climax to the game. Will Bowley with a sublime individual try to level the scores. And then Haileybury just held short as they repeatedly pounded away at the line with the clock deep in the red. And in the end, this stunning game of rugby, utterly compelling stuff, ends in a draw. And I think, Ollie, on balance, a fair result.
Yeah, what a game that was. I mean, both teams have their moments of dominance throughout the game, but I think, yeah, in the end, an even score is fair.
Well, we saw throughout the game that it was just an incredible physical contest, and you almost saw as the game moved towards that last sort of 5-10 minutes, it started to open up as both sides clearly out on their feet. I mean, we saw with every break in the play there were players scattered across the ground, you know, cramping up and the like. And it just turned into an electric game for that 5-10 minute period. Seaford generally in control, but Haileybury just coming up with defensive play after defensive play.
Yeah, some of the defensive work in that game by Haileybury was inspired. You know, everyone just kind of grasping the straws at points, but it worked.
And then, of course, though, the moment that sealed it all was that Bowley try. Stunning bit of play from him to level things up, and then agonisingly for Seaford College, the conversion just slipped wide, which left us with that thrilling climax as Haileybury managed to turn the ball over once again, as it has to be said. The work on the floor tremendous, and then just camped on the Seaford College try line, leaving the game finishing up at 13-all. There's been breathless stuff here at the StoneX Stadium. A big thank you to everyone that's been tuning in. We'll get those tries up for you any moment as the players gather in what's described by Warren Gatland and Steve Hansen, you may remember after 2017 Lions, as a feeling like kissing your sister, which is an odd phrase. So here we go. The opening try of the game. It seems a long time ago now, doesn't it? But it was a thumping bit of work from Henry Boyle to get himself across the try line. You saw the passion, didn't you? And at that point, you're thinking, well, maybe Seaford College are going to come back into it. If nothing else, for the sheer passion on show afterwards. Look at the footwork there. As we said in the game, the man that was described to us beforehand as being an Irish Manu Tuilagi. And it certainly showed there. And then Haileybury College, early in the second half, got themselves on the front foot in the scrum. And then it was Dan Hoyes who just came thumping through, showing that Boyle's not the only centre on the field that could go storming through. And as you said, Ollie, typical of the man. You see it wide here. Spencer looks to pick him out very, very early. Just waits and waits and waits, and there he goes. A touch rugby player, you say, Ollie?
Yeah, indeed. In Hemel Hempstead plays touch.
It had to be seen to be believed, I suspect. And then we see the match equaling try. Bowley collects it and almost just immediately into the sprint, and the sea just parts in front of him. And here he steps in. Oh, heart in mouth at that moment. I thought he tried to do too much, but he was trying to get across, to get under the post, to make the kick a bit easier. And what wise thinking it was. See it here. And at this point, Ollie, if you're a Haileybury supporter, you must be heart in mouth entirely.
Indeed, and it carried on to the point where Joe Robinson had the run down the left wing, and they probably thought they would edge the game in the final seconds.
Sadly, though, for Seaford College, the conversion just pushed wide, but in the end, this pulsating game of rugby ended in a 13-all draw. And do you know what? As we see the two sets of players come together underneath the posts for a photo at the end of the match, that right there is what this was all about. This was about a group of 30, 35 boys all getting the opportunity after 18 months with no rugby to speak of, the chance to come out and play at the home of Saracens, the StoneX Stadium, in front of all their friends and family. And you know what? It's fitting that it ends with the honours shared at 13 apiece, and we finish on this wonderful image that really speaks to everything that the game of rugby is. And at that point, we say goodbye here from the Next Gen 15 team. Ollie, my thanks very much to you for coming along and helping us with this commentary today.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely, anytime. Ollie will be hearing much more of as the season goes on, I am sure. But all that remains is for me to say thank you very much, everyone, for watching. Do stay tuned. On Friday evening, we'll be heading over to Warwick to get their game against Denstone College. And until then, goodbye and have a very good couple of days.
Introducing Next Gen 15, the new home of school rugby.
Well, where does this come from?
Covering everything the school game has to offer in both the north and southern hemispheres.
What a great tackle! It's not good enough. 1-2, skip a few and with the wheels.
Highlighting tomorrow's stars, Next Gen 15 will be bringing you live games and a regular update of all the news and in-depth views on the global game.
What's a kick? Where did he come from and how did that happen?
All your school rugby, all in one place. This is Next Gen 15.